Hi everyone, my name is Kate and today we are going to crochet this lace cardigan. I have long seen on Pinterest similar cardigan and wanted to make it, and now the day has come. All the steps of making, secrets and problems I covered on my Telegram channel, so subscribe. And also don't forget to like this video and leave a comment, it helps others to see this video. And don't forget to subscribe too, it will be my pleasure. So this cardigan looks complicated to crochet, but believe me, this pattern is very simple, only one row, even a beginner can cope with it. The cardigan consists of parts sleeves, two front parts, back, sew them together, and you get a cardigan. Let me tell you right away that if I spent a few hours a day of crocheting, I would have made this cardigan in 4 days. If I spent 3 or 4 hours a day, I would have made it in 2 days, but I was distracted by my other things. Some days I didn't crochet at all, so it took me a long time, but okay, let's get started. We will need 6 skeins of yarn for size SM. For bigger sizes, take at least 7 skeins. I have Gazzal Baby Cotton, 60% cotton and 40% acrylic, in 50 grams 165 meters. You can take any yarn with any composition that you like. For some, cotton or bamboo or cotton with acrylic will be good. But keep in mind that in this exact frame I had a little more than 5 skeins. Crochet hook 3.5 mm, scissors, stitching needle, markers, and centimeter. This is what the pattern looks like up close. The wrong side and the right side are the same. It consists of the fans and bumps, let's call it that. The pattern should start with swans and end with them, but for the sleeves we will make an exception and end with bumps. The pattern is really very simple. The hardest part is going to be making the cuts from the front pieces. That's where we're going to start. So we make the first stitch and cast on 10 air loops. Yarn over, and in the fourth loop from the hook, the one on the hook doesn't count, insert the hook. It's 1, 2, 3 and 4 in first loop. Insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull it out. Now we have 3 loops on the hook. Crochet first 2 and then 2 more, like this. And again we cast on 10 air loops. Yarn over, and in the fourth from the hook, insert the hook and grab the yarn. Crochet first 2 loops and then 2 more. We already have 2 of these pockets. Continue to cast on 10 air loops. Yarn over again. In the fourth, make a double crochet. We already have 3 pockets. In these pockets we will crochet fans and bumps. For the front piece we need only 3 pockets, so we'll take 10 more air loops and that's it. We started with 10 air loops and ended with 10 air loops. Now we will crochet with treble crochet. So yarn over 2 times, 1 and 2. Now count 3 stitches from the pocket. This is pocket 1, 2, 3. And in the third stitch we make a treble crochet. We have 4 loops on the hook, so crochet the first 2, then 2 more, and then 2 more, like this. Yarn over 2 times again, and in the next stitch we make the same stitch. Yarn over 2 times again and make the same treble crochet in the next stitch. Next we'll make 3 treble crochets right into the pocket. Yarn over 2 times, grab the yarn, crochet 2 loops, then 2 and 2 more. Yarn over 2 times again and in the same place make a treble crochet. It's 2 and third treble crochet in the same place. After this, make 3 air loops, 1, 2 and 3, and again in the same pocket make 3 treble crochets. And this is what we should get. And now 3 treble crochet in the next 3 loops after the pocket. This is our first fan. Next we are going to do bumps or puffed stitches. Yarn over 1 time. Insert the hook into the next pocket, grab the yarn, take it out and pull slightly, so that's 1. Again do the hinge, insert the hook into the same pocket, and again pulling the yarn is 2, and then another hinge, repeat it, it's 3, once again it's 4, and once again it's 5. In total we pull the yarn 5 times. Grab the yarn and gently crochet through all except the last stitch, like this. Grab the yarn and then crochet 2 loops on the hook and close the stitch. Make 3 air loops, 1, 2, 3, and repeat in the same pocket with the same puffed stitch. Next, yarn over 2 times, 1, 2, count 3 stitches from the pocket, this is our pocket, 1, 2, 3, and in the third one, make treble crochet. First we crochet 2 loops, then 2 more, and then 2 more. In the next stitch, do the same. And the last one before the pocket. In the pocket, crochet 3 treble crochets. Three air loops, 1, 2, 3, and here again 3 treble crochet. After the pocket, 3 treble crochet in each stitch. And finish the row. Yarn over one time, put the hook into the last loop and crochet. First 2 loops and then 2 more. That's the first row we make together. The subsequent row will be exactly the same. Make 6 air loops and turn the work. Yarn over 2 times and put the hook like this behind the third stitch from the middle of the fan from the previous row. Grab the yarn and crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more and then 2 more. Then do exactly the same with the next stitch. Yarn over 2 times, insert the hook behind the stitch of the previous row, crochet 2 and 2 and another treble crochet. Then in the middle of the fan we make 3 treble crochets. Three air loops, 1, 2, 3, and again 3 treble crochets in the same place. Yarn over 2 times and put the hook behind the first stitch from the middle of the fan of the previous row. Then we make the second such stitch and the third. Then again a puffed stitch, yarn over 1 time, put the hook right here in the middle, grab the yarn and pull it out. Again, yarn over and pull it out. Yarn over, pull it out. Again and again. Then we crochet all the loops on the hook except for the last one and then crochet 2 stitches. 3 air loops, yarn over and again puff stitch in the middle. Yarn over 2 times. In the third stitch from the middle of the fan of the previous row, we make the treble crochet. Then the second, and the third. In the middle, make 3 treble crochets. Three air loops, and here again 3 treble crochets. Then we crochet 3 treble crochets behind the previous row stitch. In the last stitch in the row, yarn over one time, and in this empty space we make a double crochet. First 2 loops and then 2 more. 6 air loops and turn the work. This is what we should have. As you can see, this front has 3 elements and the back has 7 elements. You can make more. Let me show you again how to crochet row 3. I think you have already understood the principle. There is nothing difficult. Once a few more rows will be faster. We have 3 air loops in the middle of the fan and between the puff stitch. The double crochet is in the front of the puff stitch and at the end of the row. We have to crochet 12 rows on the top, and the last fan in 12 rows is not complete. We will make the decrease there. So I made 12 rows, and from the last fan I made only 3 treble crochets. In the middle of the fan I also crocheted 3 treble crochets. Make 2 air loops and turn the work. And now we will crochet right away puff stitch. Yarn over one time and put the hook between the puff stitch and make one puff stitch. 3 air loops and another puff stitch. Yarn over 2 times and then finish the row as usual. 6 air loops, turn the work and crochet the row to the end, ending with the puff stitches. Yarn over one time and insert the hook into this connection above the stitch of the previous row. Make double crochet. Chain 2, turn the work, yarn over one time and start making puffed stitches and row to the end as usual. So there should be 5 shorted rows and the total number of rows is 18. We are going to make 19th rows another way to make it easier to join the front and the back of the cardigan. I made 18th rows, make 4 air loops and turn the work. Yarn over 2 times and put the hook into this connection above the puff stitch. Make treble crochet. Again yarn over 2 times and make the same treble crochet between the puff stitch. Yarn over 2 times and in the connection of the second puff stitch. Again yarn over 2 times and insert the hook over the next stitch. Yarn over 2 times and into the next stitch. Next we make just double crochet, yarn over 1 time and insert the hook into the next stitch. Yarn over again and the next stitch. Then insert the hook into the loop without a hinge and in the next one also without a hinge. It's a single crochet. In the middle of the fan also single crochet and of the next 2 stitches making single crochets. Then 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And 3 treble crochets. 1, 2 and 3. That's how we made our edge even, not wavy. Let's make the second exactly the same piece. I made it in the same way as the first piece, only turn it on the wrong side and they, as you remember, are not very different. We measure about 120 cm from the yarn and cut it off. Make 1 air loop and pull out the yarn completely. The length is 39 cm, the width is 13 cm, the width of the narrow part is 7.5 cm. Next we crochet the back. It's crocheted exactly the same way as the front, only even easier. There is no need to do the cuts and just crochet straight rows up. On the back we have 7 elements, 18 rows up and 19th is the same edge as in the front. I'm going to show you how to cast on the loops for the back. Remember we have 3 pockets and now we need to make 7 and crochet just up. So we make 10 air loops, Yarn over and insert the hook into the first stitch from the hook. The stitch on the hook isn't counted. Then we get 10 air loops again. Yarn over and make double crochet in the first loop from the hook. We make the same until we have 7 pockets, and after 7th we make 10 more air loops. I show you again how we start crocheting. Yarn over 2 times and in the third stitch from the pocket we make a treble crochet. And then 2 more treble crochets in the next 2 loops. Three treble crochet in the pocket, three treble crochets in the next 3 loops. Next, yarn over 1 time and insert the hook into the next pocket and make a puffed stitch. Three air loops and make another puffed stitch in the same place. Yarn over 2 times and again in third stitch from the pocket make a treble crochet. Continue crocheting as we did on the front piece until the end of the row, alternating fan and puff stitches. Yarn over and in the last stitch we make a double crochet. Crochet 2 loops and then 2 more. 6 air loops and turn the work. Yarn over 2 times and put the hook behind the stitch of the previous row. And we crochet as we did on the front of the cardigan. It's simple and there is nothing complicated. Let's crochet 18 rows up. On 19th we will make a straight edge. On the back you will need to add another skein of yarn. I place the yarn from the skein and from the one that ends like this. Tie a knot around one yarn with one end. On the other side with the other end I do the same, and then pull on both sides and tighten the knot. Cut the ends and continue crocheting. So let's pretend I've done the whole back and now we are going to crochet row 19. 4 air loops and turn the work. Yarn over 2 times and put it right here in the second stitch. Again yarn over 2 times and crochet the next one. Then yarn over 1 time and crochet the next loop. Make double crochet. Another double crochet. And next 5 stitches is the single crochet without a hinge. In the middle, also single crochet. Then 2 double crochets, and then 7 treble crochets. Then 2 double crochets, and 5 single crochets. Alternate until the end. At the end, 1 air loop and cut the yarn and pull it out. The width of the back part is 33 cm, height 35-36 cm, and now we are left to crochet 2 sleeves. On the sleeve we will have an even number of elements, so it will be invisible connection. Make a set of air loops. We should have 6 pockets, 10 air loops, yarn over, and in the 4th loop we'll make a double crochet. Again 10 stitches, and in 4th we'll make a double crochet. After the 6th pocket, we'll make only 4 air loops. We start right away with puffy stitches, so yarn over and put it in the pocket and make a puffy stitch. Three air loops and second puffy stitch in the same place. Then we crochet as usual until the end of the row. 6 air loops and turn the work, and crochet to the end of the row as usual. We'll meet at the end. I finished second row and finished 2 puff stitches, and now I make a double crochet in these side loops. 4 air loops and turn the work. Yarn over again and start with puffed stitches and crochet as usual. So that's it. On the sleeve side, on the puff stitches we make 4 air loops when moving to the next row, and on the side of the fan 6 air loops. At the top of the sleeve we don't need to do an extra row to line up the row, so we need to crochet 28 rows at the top. The width of my sleeve is 22.5 centimeters. The length is somewhere between 56–57 centimeters. Let's make the second sleeve. I made all parts of the cardigan, and let's join the front part with the back part. Let's start with the left part. Turn the back part towards us. Find the very corner of the stitch, the outermost stitch. Right here, grab the long yarn that we left, take it out and crochet that stitch on the hook again. Once again, put the hook back in the same place and find the corner stitch itself in the front as well, right here. Grab the yarn and crochet 2 loops on the hook. Insert the hook into the next stitches and crochet it in the same way. Crochet like this until the end of the front part. At the end, we make an air loop and take out the yarn. This is what we should have. This will be the wrong side of our cardigan. And now, with the needle, let's hide the ends. In the same way we crochet the right part, only now we keep the front part in front. So insert the hook into the back piece this way, grab the long yarn from the front and pull it completely backwards. Insert the hook into the corner loop of the front piece, right here. Grab the long yarn and crochet the loop on the hook. Insert the hook again here in the same place and crochet 2 loops on the hook. Then insert the hook into the next one and crochet all the way through. At the end, make an air loop, take it out and hide the ends with a needle. This is how the stitches look like from the front side. And now we will tie the sleeves. The sleeve has a wavy edge, which is where we're finishing crocheting, and a more straight edge, where we started crocheting the sleeve. So we'll join the sleeve exactly the side where we started. We need to find the middle of the sleeve and use the marker to attach it to the shoulder seam. You can also count the loops and stitches to find the middle. And now there will be an important point, so watch carefully. Since the edge doesn't consist of regular stitches, I need to determine by eye how many stitches in which place I will crochet to the main body of the cardigan. So now watch it carefully to understand how many stitches in which place on the sleeve I will crochet. In the very corner I will make 2 stitches, 2 single crochets, then 3 stitches over each of the previous row. In the middle of the fan I will crochet 3 stitches, then 2 stitches in that space before the puffed stitch. In the middle, 1 stitch. After the puffy stitch, I will make 2 stitches. Then again 3 over each of the previous row. In the middle of the fan, 3 stitches, 3 more over each of the previous row. In front of the puffy stitch, 2 stitches. In the middle, 1. After 2 stitches, then 3 over each. In the middle of the fan, 3 stitches, then 3 again. Before puffy, 2 stitches. In the middle, 1 stitch, and after the puffy stitch, 2 stitches. I'm explaining this to you to understand the principle by which I will crochet the sleeve to the cardigan. On the side of the main body, we have big arcs and small arcs, and the last row is an even row. This is the row where I will be crocheting 3 stitches. The big arc is 5 stitches, so I'm going to have these 3 and 2 more in front of the puffed stitch. In the small arc I will do 1 stitch. So it's important to find the middle of the sleeve and calculate on your own where the beginning will start. If you crochet the same size as mine, I start from the 6th small arc on the count from the top. We make the first loop, insert the hook into the corner of the sleeve and into the small arc. Grab the loop, take it out and crochet it. It's starter stitch, so it doesn't count as 1 stitch. Next, we put the hook into the same place and crochet 2 single crochets. Next, we have a big arc in which we have to do 5 stitches. We put the hook right above the stitch and in the big arc. We crochet this 1 time, then next stitch is 2, then 3, 4 and 5. The 3rd stitch from the middle of the fan will crochet in the small arc. Then again 5 stitches in the big arc. 1 stitch between the puff stitches, we'll crochet in a small arc. Then next 5 in the big arc. Then 3 stitches from the middle of the fan, we crochet in this stitch from the last row of the back. Now move on to the front. Again 3 stitches in this stitch from the last row. Then the next 5 in the big arc. Then 1 in the small arc, 5 in the big one, one in the small one, 5 in the big one, and the last 2 stitches in the small arc. One air loop and cut the yarn. This is what we should have. I made a mistake when I said that the harder thing will be to crochet the decreases from the front side, but it turns out that no. So in this place be very careful and look again how and why I crocheted the sleeves like this. On the other side do the same, and we only have to crochet all the sides together, it will be easier. Let's put the hook into the very corners of the cardigan, make a loop, put it through the corners and crochet. Here again we insert the hook, grab the yarn and crochet. As you can see, we have a large arc and small arcs on both sides. In the small ones we'll be crocheting 2 stitches in one place, and the bigger one 5 stitches in one place. So we crochet 1 more stitch in the corner. In the bigger one 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, like this. In small one 2 stitches, 1 and 2, then 5 again. Now 2 in the small arc, and so on until we get to the sleeve. I got to the armpit, and so I have a little arc here. I'm going to make 2 stitches. On the sleeve we have arc on one side and puffy stitches on the other side. Each arc corresponds to one puffy stitch in the row. So on the small arc we will crochet the same 2 stitches, and on the big one we will crochet 5 stitches, just like we did on the sides. On the side of the puffy stitches there are also arcs, so we put the hook here and in the small arc on the other side. Let's crochet 2 stitches. Next puffy stitch we crochet 5 stitches, because we have a big arc on the other side. Then we have a small arc again, so we crochet 2 stitches. Then 5 again, and so we alternate until we get to the edge. At the end I have 5 stitches. One air loop and cut the yarn. This is the stitch on the wrong side looks like, and on the other side do everything exactly the same. Hide all the ends with a needle, turn inside out, and now we are going to make the ties in the front. You can just make a chain of air loops, but I'll do it another way. From the edge of the yarn, step back about 80 cm and make the first loop. Next, the yarn that leads to the end, we throw like this on the hook, and we crochet 2 loops on the hook with the yarn that leads to the ball. Again, the yarn that leads to the end we throw like this on the hook, and we crochet 2 loops with the yarn that leads to the ball. That's how we crocheted the cords, about 20-21 cm. If you want to make it longer, at the beginning step back from the end of the yarn more centimeters. I crocheted the length I want, and then I grab the yarn that leads to the end and pull it out. Tighten it well. Now find the very corner from the front before the decreases start. Skip the first arc and over the first stitch on the wrong side, tie a few knots. The cord can be pulled through the arc to the front side. The other side is exactly the same. Use a needle to hide the ends well among these stitches. So our cardigan is ready. It turns out very tender, romantic and incredibly beautiful due to its pattern. It will perfectly fit into any summer or spring looks. The tutorial isn't very suitable for beginners, but I'm sure if you look carefully, everything will succeed. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I see, read and answer everything. If you want to support me even more, you can send me a donation at the link in the description under the video. It would be my mad pleasure. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I thank you all and bye cuties!